Hey Leute, willkommen zurück zu Danganronpa. Wir sind immer noch in diesem schweren Fall und müssen immer noch erklären, wer überhaupt wen getötet hat hier.
Ich glaube, eher kompliziert trifft eher. There's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
He could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Jetzt hätte ich wahrscheinlich gleich wieder gefragt, Makoto, weißt du genau, was ich meine? Weil es immer so ist. Ja, natürlich weiß ich genau, was du meinst. Nein, weiß ich nicht. Sag's mir.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Ja, das denke ich nämlich auch. Ach, sie.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... Ghost!
Weil die nämlich dachten, dass alter Ego ein Geist
I don't
wäre.
think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Das macht ja auch Sinn, warum dann der Announcement nur einmal kam. Das war bei Taka. Und dann kam er ja nochmal.
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Yeah, Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Nein. Ich hab's gewusst, Hangman gäbe oder... Ne, okay. Na, it's up to date. Broken Wristwatch, okay.
Ja, was broken?
Ja, von Taka. Die Uhr.
Ach so.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Nein!
That is why the announcement was made.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Ja, okay, ich weiß auch, was falsch ist. But Hifumi and Taka's body were discovered at almost exactly the same time. Ja,
Are you
ich weiß.
saying that when we first found there's a chance he...
No, Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Sein toter Körper wurde nicht gefunden. Ach, warte, da muss ich wahrscheinlich wieder die eine Scheiße machen. Moment. When you think about it one more time, there must be a contradiction in there somehow.
Are you saying
das
that when we
bescheuert.
first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Das stimmt doch auch. Oder nicht? It's only made once. Yeah. Hifumi and Taka's body were discovered at almost exactly the same time.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Check's nicht. What does that have to do with what I said? Or do you just know what you're doing?
Shoot!
Ich verstehe das nicht. Ich bin gerade verwirrt.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Da würde ich jetzt wieder
Hifumi was dead, without a
Ja, sogar
doubt.
vor.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Hä?
Meaningless words tire me. Please stop wasting my time.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
And that is...
Are we really so sure? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Shoot!
Dann muss ich bei Sakura schießen. Aber was?
Are you saying that when we first found him, there's a chance he...
No. Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery.
Hifumi's dead body had been...
And that
Ich
is
bin
why the
behindert.
Are we really so
Es
sure?
ist so-
Maybe the
es ist
announcement
so
was intended
klar.
to signal someone else's discovery.
Es ist so klar.
Are you
glaub
saying
mal,
that
dass
when
es
we
klar
first...
ist.
There's a chance he...
No. Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Oh, es ist so einfach. Und die machen das so unmöglich schwer. Oh Gott, es war
Was the
so
body
einfach.
discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Alle haben sich bestimmt hier schon Facepalm langsam gegeben, weil das so dumm war. Es war auch echt verdammt dumm, es war so offensichtlich eigentlich. Oh. Jetzt habe ich ein halbes
Hast du das
Herz.
schon gemacht?
Was?
Das hättest du schon gemacht?
Nein.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Ja.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second body discovery announcement. The first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse office in the equipment room. And the second time was when both the bodies were rediscovered. Yeah.
I got it!
Ja, okay, war auch
We
richtig.
heard it a second time in the repository when we rediscovered the two bodies.
body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class tower will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Ja, ich speichere. Ich weiß ja gar nicht, ob man das restarten kann und verkackt hat. Ich habe irgendwie das Gefühl, dass ich es gleich verkackt.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Okay, das wird jetzt interessant. Make your argument. Okay, was haben wir? Hifumis Glasses. Ah, okay, die waren ja erst blutig.
Ja.
Ich höre mir jetzt erstmal alles
Well,
an.
here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Ja.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
Ja.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Das ist falsch, das muss ich abschießen.
Ja, okay, würde ich auch sagen.
Was he really
Aber
still
ich schau noch
alive?
mal kurz.
Of course not. It is
Ich kann mal
impossible.
das grüne
This
aufladen.
is ridiculous.
Wie, welches grüne
Das
aufladen?
ist das Ding. Immer wenn du auf ein Argument gehst und das da dann
Ach
auflädt.
so, dann habe ich nämlich das übernommen, was da quasi der andere gesagt hat, und dann kann ich das andere, dann kann ich damit ein anderes Argument quasi erschließen. Es ist verdammt komisch. Und ich muss was in the nurse. Okay. Definitely some sort of conflict there. Ja, das müssen
Well,
eigentlich die
here's one
Glasses
thing we
sein.
do. The first time we found it, and then his body just.
And the next time, it was in.
But when you compare his body before being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Ja, okay.
No, that's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Ja, warum soll sonst jemand die Brille
Perhaps
sauber
you'd
machen?
like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Tuch. Ja. Das hier.
I got it!
I got it.
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
Kann er nur er sein.
Oder jemand anderes schaut doch Animes.
Ja, aber sonst hat niemand anderes halt gesagt.
Ja.
Also nicht so offensichtlich wie er.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Ja, weiß
I
die das?
highly
Vor
doubt
allem.
anyone
Weil
but
das drauf
Hifumi would have
stand.
brought something like this
Da war
to
der
school.
Titel und da auch runter das Maskottchen.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
Toll, ey, die muss uns alles nochmal dreimal erklären.
Oh, fühle ich irgendwie.
Ach, ja, so
Kameraden.
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
Nee, da ist extra jemand reingegangen, hat das extra sauber gemacht, weil er dann dachte so, ah, das ist eigentlich voll scheiße für die Leiche, kannst du nichts mehr sehen.
Ja.
Ja.
That's a good point.
Das ist so ein dummes Argument von der Celeste gewesen.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see.
Aber dass ihn auch niemand gesehen hat, dann nur hochgelaufen
Then he
ist.
stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Da gab's doch den Kühlschrank, oder nicht?
Ja,
The
stimmt,
fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of
Ja.
blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well,
Stimmt.
after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he
Yeah,
took
murder,
part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Ah, wahrscheinlich muss ich das wieder sagen.
Kommt das Buchstaben zusammen?
Ich weiß es nicht, deswegen speichere ich ja gerade.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
Oh Gott.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Der Zettel. The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka could have been. Wo ist der Zettel? Das hier.
Soll es sein.
I got it!
Ja, okay.
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Ja, auch über seine Hosen zu reden.
Forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
On the whole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. For now, let's meet in the equipment room and check it out.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Nein.
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been... I got it! That's right!
Untere stand
Taka.
Hifumis Pants. Und du wunderst dich, warum da Mi stand.
The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello, over here. Objection! Objection!
Falsches
I
Spiel.
don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
Ach so, und jetzt müssen wir wahrscheinlich den abgerissenen
Whoever wrote
Zeug
it wasn't
zeigen.
drawing out TikTok. They were drawing out Huffy.
Nein.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Oh, yes!
Huffy?
Why must you ruin it
Sie hat
every
sie
time?
so genannt.
Ach so.
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. Nein, wieso denn sowas? Kann ich nicht einfach das Stück Papier zeigen? No argument. Bitte nicht 3 Sachen. Nein, ich hab's gewusst, 3 Sachen. Oh Gott. Broken Wristwatch, Hifumi's Glass Cleaning Claw.
Viel Glück.
Ja, danke.
Huffy had the note, right?
Ja, Huffy hatte das.
Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy.
Nein. Nein, ich
I
hallo.
remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
Also TikTok.
The time on the note said 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? Ja, er ist gestorben. That's what I need to clear up. Jetzt muss ich auch so
Huffy had the note, right?
Broken Watch
Then the
machen
person
oder
it
was?
was intended
Wenn ich das
for
richtig verstanden habe.
must have been Huffy.
Nein, das war nicht Huffy. Hör auf, ich will das Ding abschießen.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
At 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? So I need to clear up. Ich versuch's jetzt mal, das letzte mit der Broken Wristwatch.
Then the person
Ja.
it was intended must have been Huffy.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
Ja!
No, it's wrong.
TikTok on the clock.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
Ja. Und die Connection sagt mir gerade, dass ich speichern soll. Holy shit, ey. Ich schwitze.
Wo?
Sag ich dir nicht.
Dort im Spiel oder hier?
Sag ich dir nicht.
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet.
Um 6 Uhr.
The equipment room, right?
which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Dame.
Well, when you put it like
Bei den voll
that.
verarscht.
No further objections.
Stimme.
Then someone used that note to trick Taka, just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster, telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Es in seine Hose reinstecken. Aber naja, Leute, dann sehen wir uns hier beim nächsten Mal bei Danganronpa und ciao.
Ciao.